Here are 10 awesome cars that you can get for under 50k ringgits. So, you want a car, you want an awesome car, a car that turns head, a car that drives so well, a car that makes you happy. But not everyone can afford a Ferrari and not everyone can afford a Maserati. But you happen to have 50k ringgits lying around spare in your bank. Well, here are 10 cars that you can buy with that amount of money. So what makes a car awesome? Well, it has to look good enough for you. It has to be a candy to the eyes. It has to have decent performance. And most important of them all, it has to make you happy. After scouting through a few websites, I found 10 cars, one for each brand, with the price of 50,000k or less. Keep in mind, there's no alphabetical order in terms of price or maybe ranking on which one's car is more awesome. No, I'm just gonna read it randomly and you can decide which car you think suits you the most at that price. So the first car is gonna be the BMW Z4, costing around 45,000 ringgits. It's a pretty good car for the price. It even featured in Top Gear, where Jeremy, James, Hammond argue whether the Z4 is better than the Cayman and also the S2K. Next up is the Mercedes-Benz 200K, costing on average of 50k thousand ringgits. It's a beautiful car. Though it may be underpowered compared to the other cars in this list, it makes up for its lightweight body. And normies aren't even gonna know that this thing is underpowered. All they know is it looks great and definitely you're gonna get some ladies riding this thing. Next we have the Lexus GS300, or in other parts of the world it's called the Toyota Aristo. For only 27,000 ringgit, you get a naturally aspirated V6, and this thing has a huge aftermarket support. It may look kind of common to normies, but it's more of a if you know kind of car. People made all kinds of builds with this car, especially for all the aftermarket support it has. Next up is the Toyota Caldina. For only 28,000 ringgit, you got a very powerful inline 4 wagon. It makes quite a lot of power for an inline 4, and being a wagon, it looks absolutely stunning. Next is the Nissan Fairlady 350Z. Starting at only 45,000 ringgit on average, you can get an iconic car in the JDM culture. It's featured in many games, in many movies, especially in the Fast and Furious franchise. And not to mention the huge aftermarket support it's got. I've seen drift builds, I've seen drag builds, I've seen time attack builds. This thing is versatile. Next up, we have the Honda Prelude. Starting at only 38,000 ringgit, you're basically getting an underrated Integra. While the Prelude isn't really that known within the car community, but it's actually a good car. It's got good handling, it's got decent power, and most importantly, it's got VTEC. Next on the list, we have the Audi TT. Starting at only 35,000 ringgit, you can get yourself a mini R8. For that price, you're getting one of Audi's best car before the R8 came along. And not to mention the highlight of the car, which is the Quattro all-wheel drive system. Next, we have the Volkswagen Sirocco TSI. Starting around 50,000 ringgit, it's a good-looking hatchback. Though some may argue that the fact it's front-wheel drive is actually one of its downsides, but for me, it's kind of its own character. It has its perks of being a front-wheel drive. Next is the Subaru Legacy. For 50,000 ringgit, you're getting a very powerful all-wheel drive car, being a descendant of a rally legend before the Evo came in. It's proved its worth and how capable it is as a car. And finally, we have the Mitsubishi Airtrack Turbo. For 20,000 ringgit, this is a freaking powerhouse of an SUV. It looks powerful, it has a presence on the road, and you're definitely gonna get some dads looking at you if you're riding this. Wait, you're still here? I thought you clicked off already. Well, this is kind of a new thing I'm trying where I'm not really going out reviewing cars, just sitting in my room and then just having a casual talk about cars. And if you like this kind of content, maybe you can suggest other kind of things I can talk about in the comment section below. So, yeah, like and subscribe.